Hi everyone, and welcome to the Comic Artist Pro Secrets channel. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I'm your host. I'm your friend. I work for DC Comics, but I used to work for Marvel Comics. Now, I don't know, like ever since I opened this channel, I decided that it would be kind of fun to look back at some of my old work and do commentary for it. And so I have these long boxes downstairs in the basement of all of the work that I've done. I think most of the work. I might be missing some stuff. But I kind of went through it today and I forgot all about this gem. This is, God, I guess it's from 2002. Marvel Weapon X, Wild Child and Aurora. You see Aurora down here. This book, oh, look at this cover, by the way, before we begin. I mean, this is J.H. Williams III, who has certainly gone on to great things. And unfortunately, he joins me here. We both did this together, kinda. He did the cover. I did the interiors. This, I haven't looked at this in a long time. I have memories of it. I'm gonna look at it for the first time in 15 years with you guys, and we're going to see what this book is all about. I just remember it being very, very odd. Shock the monkey. Oh my god. Status report. The director, a German existentialist, once claimed that today is the enemy of the man of tomorrow. He was a fool, however, for I have proven that the man of tomorrow needn't be treated as an enemy, but rather a tool to improve today. The hypothesis of the Weapon X program is simple. Mutants can be utilized for mankind's benefit. So today we see the dawn of a golden age, blah, 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 blah. Starring, so it's Weapon X starring Wild Child. Look at him. I mean, they gave me this project. I can't remember why I said yes to this. I don't remember. I don't remember what the circumstances were. But this is, I was kind of drawing new X-Men, and I think I had a moment to spare. And so I was looking for other things too. I wanted to do other things. And they offered me this, and I said, I've never heard of this guy, Wild Child, but I do know Aurora from Alpha Flight. So yeah, I'll do it. And then I did it. I was a professional. I was a pro. I did whatever I was kind of instructed to do. This cracks me up. Here's a little panel here. It's like the establishing shot. I think I'll do it the size of a postage stamp. People being murdered. I'm good at that. And then it's like, I remember Aurora being a beautiful, beautiful woman in the old Alpha Flight comics from the 1980s. I mean, she was really lovely. So I was looking forward to getting a chance to draw her. I didn't know she was going to look like this in the book. Just, in agony with her existence, in some kind of cell, in her underpants, and one of those smocks that they give you at the hospital. This was not the Aurora that I was hoping to draw. But again, my job is to simply take the script I'm given and put it onto paper in imagery the best I can. So, I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Yeah, so this character, Wild Child, comes in and he picks her up, and it looks like she's got a hole in her head. So, I don't know. Do they still do that? It's a lobotomy or trepanning or something? Like, he picks her up. He's smiling at her. She's looking like she's in another world. Wild Child has blood all over his fingertips, so we must assume that he killed the people that we saw murdered in the hallway of this place. Not very heroic. All right, so here we go. What does he do? Oh, what you do, you spoon. When you rescue a woman, I'm surprised Luke Skywalker didn't do this with Princess Leia. Just settle in and spoon. Let a tear run gently down your cheek. I mean, that's just the thing to do. And then we cut to 6 months ago in Kobe, Japan. A lot of flowers. I remember I really was in this phase where I like to draw flowers. Hands part open the bushes, and we find, oh my God, very handsome kind of Bruce Lee style Japanese man. His manservant, he's having some tea in his garden. Who is this man? Suddenly, oh, we know who he is. Lord Sunfire. So he's Sunfire from the X-Men. Run! Look at this beautiful house. I did a good job. This was inked by Norm Ratmond, who, I don't know, he inked me 50% of the time. And I always liked his kind of broken line inks over my stuff. It's not something I do naturally. When I ink myself, I'm very clean and fluid, and he's a lot more scratchy. Um, he's kind of cool. So wow, what is it now? What do you want? I'm having tea, and there in the bushes is a little man with big ears, who jumps all the way, whoosh, boom, and claws this guy. Just claws him, just guts him, and he says, "Aye," and he's reciting a haiku to him. What was I doing? He's clawing him up at super speed. Look at his hands everywhere, and there's blood. He's ripping him up. He's ripping him up like that monster in the first episode of the new Twilight or Twin Peaks, Twin Peaks series on Showtime. Just blood flying everywhere. Of course, Sunfire's annoyed, disgusted. I don't know what, but he looks this way, and here's Sabretooth spitting. There's my Sabretooth. Morning, Sunfire. Mind if we have a word with you? Hey, he just killed all my men. And he drags this dude by the leg. And he says, "Don't do anything stupid. This guy's dangerous." And shut your hole, wild child. I know what I'm doing. Shut your hole, he said. People used to say that 15 years ago. Shut your hole. And then the most racist panel in the entire world. I don't care either way. I just want to get the hell out of Japan. The food sucks. And he puppeteers this poor dead man, this guy who he just murdered. He puppeteers his head and makes him say, this is his ventriloquist dummy, this is the ventriloquist. He says, "Me no Reiki de flied lice." This got fast editorial. Oh God. Oh my God, that's awful. But Sunfire says, who is not impressed by any of this, a simple barbarian, a samurai does not fear death. And he literally vaporizes Sabretooth. Look at him. Sabretooth stands there, and what does he say? He doesn't say yes. He says no. No, no. He wasn't expecting that. He wasn't expecting to be, like, set on fire instantly and incinerated. So he said no, because I went against his expectations. And as his corpse, as his burned, sizzling, flaming corpse hits the ground, Sunfire finishes his tea. And when Wild Child makes fun of him, look at his head. It's just, it's just a piece of meat. He says, "Nice going, Creed." And then the sound effects sizzle. There's another sizzle up here, sizzle. And here we go. There's the classic Sunfire from the X-Men comics. "And now you will die for this insult." God damn, that's cool. I like taking the robe off. He's had his tea, and now he's going to murder him. That's what you got. It's justice. And he's in the air. He's lighting things up. Wild Child hits the road. Looks like Sabretooth is pulling himself together. He says, "Ung." And then Wild Child pulls out a gun, as you do. He says, "Trying to fry my partner." Trying? He did. He did fry your partner. Again, the answer is never yes. It's no. I'll have to consider that a deal breaker. Blam, blam, blam. He shoots Sunfire. Who is on fire? I don't understand why the bullets are affecting him. He says, "Bid revoked." Sunfire hits the ground. He throws the gun. He picks up Sabretooth's dead body and tosses him in the pool. Over here we have much better comic series from Mark Waid and Mike Wieringo, the late Mike Wieringo, who's a great guy. Fantastic Four. Last time I saw Mike Wieringo was at Heroes Con, and I didn't realize I lived in Orlando and he lived in Charlotte. I was soon to live in Charlotte. I was going to move there, and we were friends. And I saw him, and he said, "Hey, Ethan." I said, "Hey, wow." He's like, I'm going home. I said, "Oh, you live here?" And we were in a hotel lobby, and he said, "I don't live here in the hotel." And I said, "No, I'm in Charlotte." And he said, "Yeah, I live in Charlotte." And I went, "Oh, okay." He's like, "I just don't feel well," and he went home. And that was the last time I saw him. And then, I guess a few months later, he died. It was very sad. He was a great guy. He was really, really sweet. But anyway, this is nice stuff. Let's get back to the nonsense. He said, "What did you say, loser?" He called him a loser. This guy was set on fire. This guy was not set on fire. He's the loser. And then look at this. This isn't nice at all. He slashes his throat, and look Look at his little face. He wasn't expecting that. This book is full of surprises. Look at his little tongue in his mouth, his eyes, his expression of betrayal and sadness and horror as his throat is removed. And he's tossed into the water. And then, like that, just spits on him. Disrespectful. He's healing real quick. Sabretooth is naked, so luckily we don't have to see his bits because, there's smoke there. I'm very conscious of that. And nobody wants to see that. And then blah, blah, blah. But look, oh no, memories. Now we're back to the present. Remember that time Sabretooth cut my throat? I remember. And suddenly Aurora wakes up, it looks like, and she says monsters, and he carries her out of the room. So that's nice of him. Greg Horn artwork there. He was on top of the world right here. Greg Horn. All right. Tries to leave. and there we get the hiss. And he says, "Oh, forget this. I don't get paid enough," and that makes him happy. Anyway, now we seem to be at some kind of gas station, maybe a little diner. And this is what happens. By the way, I went through this whole thing where my attitude was, when I'm drawing normal people, like non-superheroes, I'm going to make them as ugly as I possibly can, because other artists tended to make just normal civilians as beautiful as the superheroes were because they were just used to drawing beautiful people. Well, I wanted to contrast my superheroes who were beautiful with just ugly, normal civilians. So here we have just ugly, normal pieces of human refuse, racist bigots. Look, they're going to go up and harass this nice gentleman who's only murdered about 15 people in the past few hours, and this nice lobotomized woman in a baseball cap. They're going to harass them. So he's trying to eat a burger, and this guy just slaps the burger right out of his hand. He says, "I said hit the road, mutie, hit the road," like that. So my brother here picks up a napkin holder, and look at this. This is me just taking the piss. Look, ba-boom. Look, you get to see his face on impact. Like that, all right? And then the napkin holder. You don't want to get hit in the face, like in the bridge of the nose with a napkin holder. And the dude, as he's not even hit the ground, he says he hit Joe Bob. Dude's name is Joe Bob. He says, "Yeah, let's get him. Yeah, let's get him." Wild Child lets his glasses fall down. He's happy about this. I don't know why these guys are keen to fight with this man, but he's happy to do it. Aurora is happy too. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy but Joe Bob. He's the least happy person on this page. He was happy. He was feeling all right. Now he's having a bad night. Well, we cut to a little while later, and Wild Child has stacked all these weirdos on the table, and he's like, "Milady?" Like if he had a fedora, he'd tip it. He's like, "Milady?" And he takes Joe Bob's keys, I assume. I don't know what happened here. Coloring error. They gave him a mustache. He looks like Stan Lee. That's not meant to be a mustache. Those are like the creepy lines under his nose. But they I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. And I guess he stuffs a tip in the dead guy's mouth. And he says the service was great and everything was great. He did the review there for them. So that was nice of him. Somebody's going to get a raise. And so they get in the Mack truck and they're going. And suddenly, like, he's looking at her and she's like, she's off in space. And he's still imagining her being the beautiful version of Aurora. Look at that. Look. Why does he have a woodpecker on his hat? What? He's got a trucker hat with a woodpecker. What was I doing? She's like, "Come here, big boy." And he's like, "Aruga." I was not taking this seriously at all. This was not my A game. This was not my B game. It might have been my C- game. Maybe my D+ game. My D+ game. And she touches his face and suddenly he's back to normal again. And she says, "Kyle, look at that creepy There, I mean, you see somebody staring at you like that, you better run. She says thank you and gives him a big hug, and then they snuggle, and Wild Child keeps driving, so that's nice. And then I don't know who Blondie is here, but I don't know where. How do they have a camera on them? Like, where's the camera so they can watch them on the screen? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Here's a nice cheat page right here. All I had to do was draw this truck and then just stat this panel. Oh, wait, no, her head kind of tilts over, so it's just a little, but it's just a little silhouette at the bottom and the sun rises. It was easy. And then look, a double cheat because I did that and I drew that. Now look, I got paid the same. I did. I got paid. Like, if I had drawn this again, I would have gotten paid the same. And if I statted it, I would have gotten paid the same. That's why artists stat when they want to repeat an image. Just teaching you something. And here comes this dude on a motorcycle. I don't know if I'm trying to imply that he's the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't know why I put the sun right behind his head and his hand in a very, like, Catholic kind of, apostle sort of thing. But I did, and that's symbolism. I'm not sure if it was appropriate because I'm not going to reread this book. I'm just going through it with you. He says, what's he saying? Come on down there. And he's saying, hell no, get away. I did a lot of good detail on the back of his head there. This guy uses good product. You can tell. It's really nice. Like a paste or something. The paste? It might just be mousse. I mean, this was a long time ago. People weren't really using paste. And then he realizes, no, she's not there. There's no love there. She's and they take her back and put her in this contraption. Now, this is the best panel in the whole book, except it's colored too dark. But I mean, this is something else. But she's being healed. And then this guy, he says, all right, I'll let you see her. I like his face here. It's shadowed, but he's clearly disfigured. And he takes Wild Child in to see Aurora, who is having a feast of brown things. She's eating a lot of brown items. This guy opens, he's a chef, he opens up the pan there, and it's another brown item. She's pleased nonetheless. Look at her. That's actually cute. I like that she's pleased with all the brown things. She's not going to eat all this. There's no way she's going to eat all this. Is shrimp scampi here? I don't think she's a little girl. I mean, I'm sure she's hungry, but she's not going to eat like that. And she turns her head, and here's a figure. He's got some roses. It's always nice. Ladies like the roses. They like you to dress up and have a good appearance, which he's definitely done with his flowers. How come these flowers are different? What was I on crack? Are these flowers the same as these flowers? I don't think so. Continuity error. He gives her the flowers. She's munching. She says, thanks for the flowers. Thanks for your help. And get out of here because I'm trying to eat. Oh, man. How do you mend a broken heart? She said, I'm eating and trying to keep it down. She doubles down on that insult. And then, I don't know. Is this Mesmero? Maybe. And then Blondie here says, hey, I know, buddy. I know. Hurts. Whew, that was bad. That was really bad. But if you wanted to read more, they had a Sauron one that was probably much better. Here's Kane. Here's Marrow. Here's Zero. These all have J.H. Williams III covers, so that's great. This might have been the weirdest comic I've ever drawn in my life. I hope it was. I hope I didn't do anything weirder than this. So anyway, thanks for joining me. If I'm sure you can pick up a copy of this at your local comic shop. If you want. I mean, if you bring this to me to sign at a convention, I'm going to look at you funny. I'll realize that you probably subscribe to my channel, or at least listen to my channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, would you mind doing so? Why don't you hit that subscribe button and click the bell and join me? Leave me commentary below. Tell me if you enjoyed this issue of Weapon X, Wild Child, and my foray at Marvel Comics. If you thought that was pretty good, and maybe I should do more stuff like this, more reviews. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe I should never do a review again of my own work. Maybe I should never offer commentary again. It's up to you guys to say. I'll listen. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay.